502 New this morning, a message for Western New Yorkers who carry guns. You're going to want to plan ahead if you're planning to cross the border.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection warning that if you're armed at the border, you could wind up in trouble if you're not prepared for that situation. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Slauson is live at the Peace Bridge this morning with more on this story. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, good morning to you both. This sign that is put up behind me on the 190 heading northbound was needed to be put up here to warn any gun owner that their handguns would not be allowed over the border without proper paperwork. That can go for all firearms in general. It's a warning that was desperately needed after they have seen an influx of people trying to get guns across the border without necessarily knowing the laws.
What happens is they're actually entering in another country with a weapon. They'll get turned around, the weapon gets confiscated by the Canadian officials, and then they're brought back into the U.S.
Firearms being brought to the U.S.-Canadian border becoming a big problem.
We've seen an increase in seizures at the border.
But majority of the seizures actually not from illegally owned firearms, but from out-of-state gun owners.
Majority of these are happening from people that don't live in New York.
They are legal gun owners, unaware that their legally owned gun from another state might not actually be allowed in New York or Canada.
If you're coming from another state, when it comes to pistol permits, you may not be able to lawfully possess that weapon or pistol here in New York.
I think it's just a lack of knowledge on the law.
With proper paperwork, guns can be brought over the border and through New York State. But the main problem seen is that people are unaware their route includes international travel, so they don't know what forms they need.
But ultimately, they're not checking their GPS, their phones, their route of travel, and their route of travel is to go through Canada.
So from there, if the gun is declared, it's up to the different law enforcement agencies in charge of each bridge on how they should proceed.
Buffalo Police Department will typically handle the Peace Bridge. Niagara Falls Police Department will typically handle the Rainbow Bridge. State Police will typically handle Lewiston, Queenston.
Because the increase of firearms is happening at every single bridge, and the legal ramifications can vary.
All over the board, depending on do they legally possess the weapon, do they not legally possess the weapon, where are they going to, if where they're traveling to, do they legally possess the weapon in that state.
Best advice for anybody that is looking to bring their firearms over state borders or international borders is to do a quick Google search and do your research. Best advice is maybe to call the local state's police department to see what their laws may be and to make sure you have the proper paperwork. It's best to be as safe as possible with trying to bring these guns either over those state borders or especially over international borders. For now, we are live in Buffalo. Jeff Slauson, 7 Eyewitness News.